Welcome to the Dawg Chug podcast. How are you doing, Roger?
I'm doing good, Andy. How about yourself tonight?
Well, pretty much one of the worst Sundays I can remember in a long time. But I'm sure we'll dig into that. Right now, let's try and stay positive.
Yeah.
Every time someone says something negative for the rest of this hour, because we're going to get this done in an hour tonight. That is my pledge.
Okay.
I think we just drink. We take a drink. If someone says
You gotta
something,
take a drink.
let's drink. All right. How are you doing? How was your horrible Sunday?
We went to Boo at the Zoo, and I'm watching that game, and I wish I was still back in there with the monkeys and back at the zoo. I did that to kill time before the game, and I kept thinking they're gonna come back. All it takes is one play, and that's just me, the constant, homer.
That Hail Mary, you felt like, hey, here we go.
Man, it was. I don't even want to think about it no more. After tonight, we're done. Tomorrow we play again. That's the best thing is a Thursday short week.
I still agree. Like, that's the best part of playing on Thursdays when you lose on the previous Sunday. And you only have a couple days to do on it. And I'm really excited about tomorrow. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to go down there with my buddy Adam, and we're going to have a good time.
Say that again, Andy.
I said I'm excited about tomorrow. We're going to go tailgates for the game, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to try and do a crazy video. I feel like I haven't been bringing it lately. If I want the Browns to be great, then I have to be great. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I think there might be a little video being posted tomorrow. If I can pull it off, we'll see. So that should be fun. And I think that's going to really set the team up for success. It's all on my shoulder.
It is. It's all on you, Andy. You got to deliver, too. You can't let us down.
Well, I know that our good friend Mike wanted to say a couple things. So I feel like we're all going through the 12 stages of grief. And I don't know what stage we're on. I was throwing up in the bathroom a couple minutes ago. Now I'm excited. But let's have Mike on. Maybe he can help us sort of settle the emotions. All right. I'm going to move you over. Welcome, Mike.
There he is.
Oh, it's been a long time since we've had you on. It's been like almost a month.
Sorry, guys.
So-
I'm doing this from. Sorry, guys. I'm doing this from my cell phone.
Hey, you look great. How's the dog bites?
I'm sorry.
How are the dog bites doing? Are you healing?
Shit. Oh, I don't recall ever having dog bite. Oh, dog bites?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean you're probably thinking of Elf?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
yeah. I don't know. Hopefully, he's doing better.
Hey, Mike. He had.
Yeah.
Hey, we're lucky. We're lucky that the show wasn't last night because Mike and I wouldn't be here because there was a blackout. You lost all your power too, didn't you, Mike?
Here, I'm going to turn the phone this way. There. Sorry. There. Yes. We were without lights, without internet, nothing. I couldn't get. The only thing I could do is text message and call. Use my phone to call. That's it. I mean, I had no access to nothing, and it didn't really come back on until about 7:30 this morning, I think.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I guess it was like something with a power, a light pole or electric pole, something
Wouldn't it have
caught
been
on fire or something and knocked out because they brought in First Energy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have been fantastic if the power was out on Sunday and we could have avoided witnessing that mess?
That
Mike.
was.
What? Andy said you had some things on your mind you wanted to. Yeah.
Yes. You said you were gonna? Yeah. Let's hear what you have to say.
Well, just a couple things, and I put it out on a video I put out on Twitter and on my YouTube page. Just things I've noticed with the Browns so far this year. Obviously, the big thing that's been out there lately is going for it on the fourth down. and this is just my opinion, folks. This is just my take.
Sure. Let's hear it.
On offense, it's your opponents are studying your film, and they're looking for tells. It's like a poker game. They're looking for what you do on fourth down. Now, every team's obviously got fourth down defensive packages, down and distance, fourth and short, fourth and long. What are they going to even got it in their punt packages? So they're learning his tendencies. They're learning Stefanski's tendencies. So they see it on a 4th and 3, 4th and 7. They're like, and they see the what's up on the field. They're gonna have a defensive package already drawn up. They ran it in practice, so they're prepared. Because we're also giving up way too many sacks on fourth down.
We are definitely.
I have no issue with instead of always going for it, kick the field goal. That's just one thing I noticed.
Well, what if
another thing I noticed, and this is kind of a mute point now, because go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, what if the aggression is the idea? We just need to have better play calls. Are we doing the same thing every time? Is what I'm asking.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily the same thing, but it just seems like these other teams are ready for it. So I'm thinking they're seeing their defensive coordinators, their defensive captains and coaches. They're seeing something on the game film that when 4th and 2, they know what they almost like they know what's coming. Because if you look at it, they're ready for us. They're ready for it, and they say either they'll get Baker on a sack, or they'll stop him, and that's just what I see on it.
When the Browns are trying to fourth down,
some people might say, "Oh, you're crazy. You're talking." I'm sorry. It's kind of. I'm trying to get the volume up on this.
No worries.
It's kind of hard to hear you.
We can hear you.
I'll step a little closer to the mic here. When the Browns go for it when we're trying to stop a fourth down, though, it's like the easiest play in the universe for the other offense.
Oh,
which is frustrating.
Well, when it's coming to if you're saying we're trying to stop them, you get that game against the Chargers. They couldn't stop anything. They were porous on. They could just run anything through them. They're saying it's some guys were saying, I don't know if it was John Johnson or somebody said that it's not a communication problem. But then you look at some of those blown coverages. Obviously, then somebody didn't know where they're supposed to be or what they're supposed to run, or pick up that area in the field. And look what happened. Twice in that game against LA, they got smoked. They were getting run out of the building. They were getting run out of the building last week. Boat raced. So, I think if it's not a communication problem, then I think it was maybe one of them said it was like a trust issue or something. I said in my other video I put out there, then you know what? Stefanski's the head coach. You got to get your arms around this thing. And you got to meet with your D coordinator. You got to meet with the defensive coaches and say your defensive captains, your shot caller. You get all of you guys in a room. And I'm not saying finger point at anybody or post blame at someone, but just what do we got to do? Are we missing signals? Are we missing calls? What are we doing? Let's figure it out, because we got to get it figured out in a damn hurry. So, that's what I see it from what I've seen so far, as far as on that end of it. And another thing I've noticed, and it's kind of a mute point and I brought it up to, I think, Jacob, it's kind of a mute point because we lost. We hadn't say we lost, but we're kind of in that area where we have our starting left and right tackle. But it seemed like in some of these games we abandoned the screenplay. We got the perfect personnel prior to even losing Hunt for a few weeks. We have the perfect formula, in my opinion. You got a great offensive line, guys that can block the downfield, and they're smart offensive players on the O-line. And you got guys that are very talented out of the backfield. Then let's run it. And tomorrow night, I'm thinking, you know what? I fullback in that backfield to help protect Keenum. and you need a blocker back there. You can bring in a couple tight ends. You got the formula. You got the guys right there that can do it. And I just see like in some of these games, they maybe ran it once. They ran a screen once. Maybe ran it, and that was it. Why are you abandoning a play that on paper you've got the personnel to run with it? Go with it. I think even on a 4th and 5, you run a screenplay prior to losing Hunt. You run a screenplay. He catches that ball. He'll get the yard to gain. He'll get you that first down and more. So that's just things that I saw. I put them in a couple videos. I put them on Twitter, and they're on my YouTube channel. I was going to plug my YouTube channel. It's The Beagle has landed on YouTube. So if you want, you can feel free to jump on there and subscribe. I'd appreciate it.
Nice.
But I'm thinking maybe making a few more of those videos, things that I see and about, it's not always necessarily being talked about on social media. There's other, obviously the injuries are something that people are talking about a lot. And that's just one part of it. So, but, I wanted to talk about in those 2 videos I made, one on defense, one on offense, things I've noticed so far this season. And that's really was about it.
Nice.
So, and by the way, Andy, I really love your background and your area back there, the Cleveland skyline. That's beautiful.
This was limitlesswalls.com. You can pretty much take any picture and they'll custom size it to fit any wall. It was amazing. Pretty inexpensive, relatively.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you can do it yourself, but I had a professional. He did an amazing job. It's literally my favorite part.
He did. It really looks nice.
And unfortunately, no one ever is allowed to come over and say stupid shit. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for coming on. I can't wait to see more of your videos.
Thank you.
And so let me ask you this though. I see your.
Thank you for having me. I was actually.
Well, we love to have you on. I hope that you don't get any more dog bites moving forward, because that would mean that I predicted you were going to get bit by a dog, which I'll feel horrible about. But anyway, let me ask you this.
No dog fights from me.
You're obviously suggesting that the coaching has not done the best job utilizing the talent. I think everyone can be in agreement on that. Are they going to get it together in Mike's opinion? Did you hear me?
I'm sorry, Andy. I'm sorry. You were breaking up there. I didn't hear you were asking your question. I didn't.
Obviously, you're suggesting that the coaching is just not utilizing the talent effectively, which seems pretty clear from a number of areas. Are they going to get it together, or is this just something that's going to continue to eat us alive?
Oh no, they'll get it together. You've got too many smart people in that in Fortress Berea there to not be able to get it straightened out. I have full confidence in Stefanski and company to be able to right the ship on this. I think it's also on certain cases like with him and that going for it on 4th down. It's more of a mindset. Someone maybe just needs to say, Coach, I know it's your team. It's your call. And that's the thing. Maybe he should, about all his own plays. Don't always have to go for it on 4th down.
All right.
I know you want to be aggressive. I know you want to, get that big play. But like I said, I just see it as, these defenses, they're learning his tells. They're learning his tendencies. And maybe curtail back on that. Maybe just kick the field goal, or if you have to, punt. Live to fight another down.
Take the points. All right. Well, I love it. And you heard it first.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Mike is saying the Browns are going to go 14-3. What a homer. So thank you so much for jumping on. We're going to move on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Mike, thanks for coming by.
Evening.
Thank you for coming by.
Thank
Watch
you,
out for dogs.
Have a good evening, you guys. Thank you.
You see a strange dog coming up, you run the other way. All right.
Okay.
Later, Mike.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
I said we're going to keep this within an hour. We're already 10 minutes behind. So now, to help make sure we keep things within the hour, we're going to bring on the most long-winded person that we know, Ed in Columbus, everyone, who, by the way, actually, let me bring him on, then I'm going to announce this. What's going on, Ed?
What's up, guys?
All right, calm down.
Hey, Ed.
I just have to say one.
Hey,
This is the Dawg Chug Twitter person you should follow over his wife, Kelly. He won the contest last week. He is the winner. Kelly came in second place, and you didn't think you were going to win.
yes, and I'm in the proverbial doghouse because of it. So
Well, hey.
I would have preferred a second place finish, but it all worked out, and we've made amends. And Sunday we had a common enemy, and that was once again the Browns coaching staff and some of their dumb decisions.
Oh,
And but we're making it through. And this Thursday, tomorrow, we're going to get it done.
I got to say, you were one of the bigger homers that I knew, and suddenly you are like riding the realistic train, so to speak. You are being very vocal about, Baker's not doing it, Stefanski's not doing it. You're just immediately jumping out there and saying, hey, you guys have to do better. When, a homer like myself is like, we're going to be fine. Talk about it.
You know what it comes down to is, I'm all for the positivity. I'm usually more skeptic than I have been the last couple of years, seeing Stefanski come in with all this hope. But I think, as a Clevelander and everything, we deserve better. If things aren't going right, it's okay for us to point them out. We're just the fans. I think a lot of times on Twitter, people think that they have more influence and that they're more popular than what they really are. The people in Berea really don't care what most people on Brown's Twitter have to say. And I think that they think that their sphere of influence is a lot larger than what it really is. And it's okay to question stuff. We're 3-3. This team, especially the roster, is not a 3-3 roster. This is like a 5-1 roster, and that's what our record should be. And some of the decisions and obviously some of the play is causing that. And we deserve better. And calling it out doesn't mean that if I point out something about Baker and he's missing wide open guys or he's not making the right reads, I don't hate Baker. I love everybody that plays for the Cleveland Browns. I love Cleveland. It's nothing personal. And if Baker Mayfield isn't the guy to lead us to a Super Bowl, then get the next guy in, because I want to win a Super Bowl, and that should be the ultimate goal. I mean, it's okay to not be as negative as some of us fans have been. I get that, but at the same time, point it out. We're allowed to. We're fanatics. It's okay, people. And stop always having to fight everybody because you don't agree with their opinion. Just move on with your life.
I'm pretty sure you just went on a 2.5 minute rant. I don't think you breathed one time. How are you still alive right now?
Pure adrenaline, pure emotion, pure everything that is Northeast Ohio. That's how we get it done down here in CBus.
Roger, what kind of question do you have for Ed?
Ed and I actually were, there's a difference. Like Ed says, you don't have to attack people. It's okay to have a difference of opinion and discuss it.
Yes.
But on Brown's Twitter, people just attack, and they start to get personal. And Ed's been putting up the good fight. I know that since he's won that contest, he was on the couch so long, he was Ed in Buffalo by today. That's how far out in the doghouse he is. Ed.
Can I address that?
Yes.
Shout out to Nick Carnes. I love you, man. But the love affair that he thinks that I have with Josh Allen, which, I look at Josh Allen when I see him play, and I'm envious. The guy can have two guys on him, and he can still throw a 30-yard out pattern because he's tall enough, he's strong enough, and he can make the play happen. That doesn't mean I don't love Baker. That doesn't mean I don't think Baker can take us places. I just think Baker's got limitations, and if people can't admit that, then you're just fooling yourselves. Bernie was the same way. I called him paddlefoot. He had two left feet. He wasn't mobile. I mean, there's a reason why everything has to be in place for him to get to 3 AFC championship games, and the reason why we didn't get to the Super Bowl and John Elway and those elite quarterbacks did. And if people can't recognize that and understand that and accept that, then you're just fooling yourself. Fine, live in your delusional world, and that's fine. But I feel like I'm a more positive person because of this whole Twitter experience. And Nick Carnes thing. Shout out to Nick Carnes. That guy is the most positive person. And if anybody attacks Nick Carnes, get a life, you're a loser. Okay, straight up. But at the same time, he's getting attacked now because he's, saying maybe some of the things that Roger and I might be saying, but because, he does it in a way that he's always positive. If he does one little thing that's perceived as not positive, then, oh my gosh, he's now a turncoat. He's this, he's that. That's ridiculous. We're all fans. We all love the Cleveland Browns at the end of the day. So stop attacking each other. It's ridiculous. Let's all unite and attack Baltimore or Pittsburgh or Cincinnati, because that's more fun.
Amen. You heard it here first from Ed and Columbus go out and attack some Bengal fans, some Ravens fans, some Steeler fans. I love it.
Violence. Let's go.
But you're saying like actually physically assault them, yes?
No, never physically assault them. We do it. The pen is mightier than the sword. The pen is mightier than the sword.
We sort of officially hired Ed to be the Dawg Chug producer, which he's carrying out his duties amazingly. But I think you might get fired by saying not to physically assault Steeler, Bengal, and Ravens fans.
Well, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my job. So maybe I might amend that statement.
You don't have to like kill them, just like smack them in the head or something.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Enough that if we have to go to court, we can plea bargain and make it, just like some community service or something.
All right, Ed, we are so far behind. If you have a funny line or something you want to jump on, just let me know. I'll get you back on so you can do your line. You're hilarious. We need your energy, so I'm gonna put you back in the green room so we can bring on our featured guest. But I hope to see you again soon.
You will, sir. You will.
All right. Go Browns. Wow. Ed was bringing it tonight.
Since Sunday night, he's been bringing it. And, that's good. You got to get it out. And he's right. Baker's got limitations. And part of what Mike was saying about coaching, sometimes I think Stefanski gets away from what works with Baker Mayfield.
I agree. Look, there's two major things going on right now. One, I think the coaching staff has not been utilizing the talent, right? I mean, on offense and on defense. We've seen so many examples of it. But on two, I'm never going to sit here and be like the injury guy, but I mean, Jesus, tearing your labrum completely, if that's true, you can't play. You can't be a starting quarterback in this league. No one can. I don't care how good you are. If Lamar tore his labrum, he's not doing what he's doing, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he is.
No. Something, you're something's wrong with your body. You're not going to be able to perform any task 100% or to the best of your ability because you're going to compensate for the injury. And that's what so I think the best thing they did, yeah.
We're all trying to evaluate, is Baker the guy or not? That's the question everyone wants to answer. Is he the guy? Should we pay them or should we move on? Ed obviously is at the point where he's like, he's limited. Let's find the guy. Maybe. I don't even know if that's what he's saying. Point is, I don't know. Is he the guy or is he not the guy? Right now, all I see is a guy with a bum shoulder that refuses to come out, probably because he wants to earn a bigger contract, right?
I think it may be part of it. I don't think that's his motivation.
He's a hungry guy. You're right. He's never gonna come out of the game. He's
right.
Too confused.
Somebody's going to pay Baker Mayfield to play quarterback. If it's not Andrew Berry, it's going to be somebody else.
Wouldn't it suck?
I don't think he's worried about a contract so much. You know what I mean? There's not many quarterbacks out there that can play, in even a top 20 level. So,
all right. Let me ask you this, Raj. Are we getting to a point where, we move on from Baker Mayfield and then he goes to, another team and ends up becoming a stud? Is that a possibility? Like, does he become Drew Brees for the New Orleans Saints? And then we have to sit here and just lament over the fact that we let him go.
Well, that'd be my worst nightmare. But I don't think Baker Mayfield's going anywhere. I think Andrew Berry knows that. I don't think Baker Mayfield's going anywhere. I think he's here to play for the next 6 to 8 years. It's hard to find a quarterback in the NFL. If anybody knows that, it's Browns fans, and they should remember that sometimes. You're not, Josh Allen ain't coming here. And, Mahomes ain't coming here, and Herbert ain't coming here. Baker Mayfield's our quarterback,
All right, let me ask you this question, because Ed just chimed in that Baker's going to be good, but he's not elite. Was the Baker Mayfield we watched during his rookie year and the last 8 games, including the playoffs, was that an elite quarterback, in your opinion?
He shows glimpses of being elite. You see the talent. But one of his things, and like Ed said, is there's no consistency. He's got to be consistent with it. Or even I think that's the best thing right now. Like, he was taking a lot of heat. If he went out there and played and stump the place up. That would have been more damaging than trying to play, but he has limitations. And like you said, I don't think they're I think sometimes Stefanski gets cute. And I love Coach Stefanski. I don't want nobody else.
Love him.
But they need to start getting on the same page, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's week 6. This is a marathon, not a sprint. There's plenty of time to get this figured out. And we're going to do it tomorrow. We're going to get a big win. But with that, let's bring on our feature guest. We won the amazing Ross.
What's up, guys?
What's up,
Hey,
man?
buddy.
Finally talking to Roger, not just being a keyboard warrior like the rest of Twitter.
Hold on.
The face with him today if I'm going to give him shit.
I got to remove the comments because they're blocking you. So I have to get up and double click this thing. There you go. Where's my tech? There he is, my new engineer, Andy.
Yeah.
This is my new engineer because we had shit engineers when we started this thing, and I'm up and running. I got a great signal. So
you got a producer now. That should be his job.
Yeah, he's more the producer of being long-winded than actually helping us with our technology. But I do want to say that I came. It's not we to your amazing tailgate on Sunday. Oh my goodness, was that incredible! The
Uni lot for life, right?
Yes, the briskets that I didn't even get a chance to try, the Nintendo that was going out of the back of the vehicle, one of the most amazing tailgate setups I've seen in a long time. That was phenomenal. I wish I got to spend more than like 20 minutes there. I probably ended up spending an hour, but in my diluted drunkenness, it felt like 20 minutes. What a blast. I cannot wait to get to experience that again. So yeah.
I put a lot of pride into that. I mean, I've stepped it up year over year. I got my first season tickets in 2018 when I moved back up to Cleveland. I had a tiny tailgate then. I got a better grill one year. I got that TV set up and a power generator because I'm a nerd and I got to play Mario Kart when I drink. It seems like a lot of people don't care that I do that either because a lot of people do that. So yeah, adding my own twist, getting people together, talking about Browns, rallying the troops because at that time in 2018, you really had to get drunk to have a good time.
Ooh, that was a tough year.
But that was the first year of Baker, so it's all been uphill from there.
All right. I think we prepared a couple questions so our vast audience can get to know Ross. So Roger,
all right.
We each prepared 3 questions. Roger, why don't you get us started?
Okay. Let me pull these up here for you. Here we go. All right. We know that Baker Mayfield formed a bond with Hollywood Higgins from their time on the second team. And I'm talking about tomorrow night's game. With Case Keenum starting, and most of Keenum's practice time has been with the second unit, who do you think is going to be one of his go-to guys or one of the guys he trusts tomorrow? A, DPJ, B, Higgins, or C, Bryant?
I think this is a pretty easy answer just based off last week and all the training camp hype, but it's DPJ. I mean, he's had 2 really good games this year, 2 touchdowns last week. I mean, he had the 2 kind of plays last week that you don't expect one guy to be able to do. Being he's a massive dude, catches that Hail Mary pass, but then he has the other kind of touchdown where he plows a guy like he's Nick Chubb. I mean, I don't care what quarterback you are. I don't care if you have more reps with him or not. That's the kind of guy, if you're a second string quarterback and you got to just trust a dude like out of those 3, you can trust some other guys on our team, but that's your guy.
All right.
That's a great answer. Great answer. And I asked that and I came up with that. I actually erased one because of everybody talking about him getting together with Beckham today. I was like, they never practiced together. If he gets together with anybody, it's going to be a second teamer that he's thrown to all the time. All right, here's my second question.
No, we're going to go alternating. So
go ahead. I can drink some beer then.
You drink some beer. And by the way, Ross, way to suck up to Roger there with that answer. Obviously, you're going to pick the Michigan guy. Oof. I love, though, if you're correct, because I am starting TPJ this week on my horrible fantasy squad. So that would be amazing if he is the top producer. All right, my first question. Do you prefer to be an optimistic fan or a realistic one that tells it like it is?
Optimistic, I'd say. You know, I went to the University of Cincinnati, and I was around a lot of Cincinnati Bengals fans when they were better than me. But guess what? Their fans suck. And by being optimistic when we sucked, I felt like my team was better even when our record was worse. And it's just like that false cockiness Browns had when we were terrible is kind of what made me continue to love the Browns, but even more. You know, if we're great, we're actually kind of humble, but when we're bad, we like brag about our team in odd ways. It's kind of hilarious. And I'm on that bandwagon of bragging no matter what's going on. Like Deshaun Kaiser was like the smartest quarterback in the league when he was our starter. That was his whole bit. He was the smartest guy in the NFL. So I had my ways to be optimistic.
I think you just became the new producer of the Dawg Chug podcast. Sorry, Ed, but that was a great answer. And do you subscribe to violence towards Bengal fans?
Do I respond to them?
Do you advise, physically assaulting Bengal fans?
Oh, no, I just go with words with them. They give up really quickly. They don't got a lot of ammo. The first thing they do is if you compliment their team, they immediately get mad about their owner and the good things going on with them. So just compliment them. And then my other favorite thing to do was I actually knew more about the team when I was down there than they did. So I'd say, well, how's this guy doing? They're like, I don't know. So just compliment them. That's the best way to go. They hate it.
Fair enough. Ed, you're back in. Roger, ask question number 2.
Okay. Ross, with Case Keenum in at quarterback tomorrow night, how often will Kevin Stefanski go for it on fourth down? 25%, 50%, 75, 100% of the time, or 0%? He'll either kick a field goal or he'll punt on fourth down tomorrow.
Okay, now here's the problem with the fourth down argument is that question doesn't say, oh, go for the fourth down within the 50-yard line or going for fourth down in general. Because, I mean, even if we go for it a lot, 25% a lot. So I'm going to say 25%.
Okay, you got to predict how often will they be in fourth down and when will they be in fourth down. It's very easy.
At 25.
25%. All right. My question number 2, this is a lame one, but I want to ask because you seem like a passionate fan. What is your favorite moment watching the Cleveland Browns?
Okay, so remember we were on that Steelers losing streak. I was in high school. We played the Steelers in December, and this is the game where we broke the winning streak. It was freezing cold outside.
Whoa.
It was like negative 10-degree wind chill. I was there with my buddy. We got tickets last minute because, a certain person didn't want to go because it was freezing. And that's the game where Josh Cribbs pretty much won the game with us, was kick return touchdowns.
He was like the only guy on the team.
But yeah.
And the kicker. And Phil.
We were sitting in the upper dog pound seats for that game, and there were so many Steeler fans around us that were talking so much shit. And oh my God, that was maybe one of my most fun times at the game.
Yeah. I got to give honorable mention to the game, the Jacksonville Jaguars game. I think that was where Josh Gordon had 200+ yards.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I was at that game, and I was in the end zone when he had that really long touchdown.
All right.
Oh, man.
That was fun.
Ed wants to bring up a little points that I'm going to let him make this point because about your answer there. What's up, Ed?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, that's a great answer. I think that Josh Cribbs, wasn't that a Thursday night game against Pittsburgh? That the one that broke the streak. I remember watching that game because we didn't have the NFL Network, so we had to stream it. We got some UK link or whatever like that. Kelly and I did, and we watched it. And that was a great game. And I think that was the one that Mancini was one of the first of the 4 that Mancini had won to save his job, I believe. Good. That was good times, man.
I wish now that you're mentioning that, I kind of wish we hadn't won that game, but it was a lot of fun. Thursday night football, the Browns play well. So you're saying we're going to win tomorrow?
Yeah, and I have a great story about Thursday night football. In 2008, we played the Broncos on Thursday night. Kelly and I and her dad went to the game. It was Brady Quinn's first game. He threw for 300 yards. Unfortunately, Jay Cutler came back and led the Broncos on the last minute drive at 1:34:30. But the fun part was on the way back home, we're at I think maybe Brunswick Taco Bell, and I'm not gonna indict myself, but we had a little Snoop Dogg action, after the game, while Kelly's dad was going in and getting the Taco Bell, and he came out to the car, and he kind of did the sniffing around, and I looked at him, and I'm like, sir, I think somebody broke into our car, and had a quick puff real quick. He looked at me, and he just laughed, and I'm just like, man, I dodged a bullet.
Always say allegedly. If you say allegedly, you're covered. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That was
You're
a
welcome.
incredible story, and I promise not to edit that out when I'm trying to get this down to an hour because that was just phenomenal. Well done. So glad I brought you in for that. All right. Sending it to the green room. Okay. That was a great answer. I think it's time for Roger's question number 3 for Ross.
I'm amazed that you guys remember like the exact moments and these in the games. It's all a blur to me. I saw the Grateful Dead 32 times though, so that probably explains a lot of that.
You'd be best friends with my father-in-law. I think he's seen him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh man,
He's a cool dude.
have him get a hold of me. Yeah. Has he got any Bart Simpson? If he does, tell him to definitely get a hold of me.
Okay.
Some blotter, some old 90s blotter. All right. This is my last question for you. You kind of answered in your opening, and I don't have time to run, but how long have you been tailgating? How did you start? How has it grown? And do you remember the moment when you said, this is a thing? What game was it when you said, this is my thing right here, tailgating?
Well, I'll say it kind of started when I was still down in Cincinnati. I worked there after I graduated, but I had season tickets to the Bearcats football. This is before they were undefeated every season, but they still had some good years. But I started tailgating there. They have a nice setup there right outside the stadium. You can get a spot, and that's kind of where I got it going. I was hosting it. A lot of recently graduated friends, took advantage of me bringing food and having beer there, so I always had a good showing. And right when I moved to Cleveland, I said, you know what, getting season ticket Browns. But my main thing is, I just like bringing people together and kind of, in a way, showing off. Like, I love cooking, I love drinking, and I love sports. Where else can you do that for, 5+ hours in a day, and then you get to go to the game? So it's a great excuse. Like, Andy, you were there this weekend. They opened Muni Lot at 8 o'clock. I got there at 9:15. So from 9:15 to 8 o'clock, I was away from home enjoying sports. I mean, maybe not the results of the game, but, that's what it was. I saw a bunch of people, and I got to have fun with sports and do what I love. So,
yeah. Fortunately, we had fun at the tailgate for that too, because man, did it go ugly quick. All right, let's get to my third question. Move this thing along. How many beers do you think you could drink in 1 minute?
Oh man, I mean, I feel like if I was training, like you going up 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, I think I could get to 4 with training. But I mean, at this moment, if we're saying, obviously no vomiting, holding it in, I could probably do 2.5, maybe 3.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. Also, I just wanted to ask one more follow-up bonus question. At what point did you get into the sock game? Because I want to hear all about
Okay,
it.
so this is just, I'm like a uniform fanatic, and this isn't just my teams. I just love how things look. Even if they're funky and bad, I just follow it way too closely. I study that Gridiron database site to see what the Browns were historically. But the socks are always a big part. And when they brought the socks back for the brown jerseys, last year, that was huge. We didn't wear those for so long. I think we didn't wear them since, the late 80s. And they were kind of on and off in the early 90s. But they didn't wear them with the Tim Couch era, not with Josh Cribbs era, not Joe Thomas era. And then I tried finding the socks. Like last 2 years ago, the season ticket gift was the white socks with the stripes. And no one was selling the brown ones. So as a crazy fan, I found a place that would make them, but I had to order 20 as a minimum order. So I'm like, screw it. Let's see if people buy these. Sold out of those 20 just by word of mouth at work. And then I ordered 50 more. And now I have an Etsy store.
Well, I just ordered 2 last night, which spoiler, I hope my wife's not watching because one of them is for her. But they look awesome. So
yeah,
good job. And everyone should go. You have a link on your page, right?
Yeah, if you look up Cleveland football socks, because I can't put Browns in listing or else I'll get a cease and desist, probably. Look up Cleveland football socks on Etsy. I'll be the listing. And if you have a promo code for Barking, because I'm doing a little promo with the Barking Browns podcast with Nick Carnes and Jacob, Barking will get you 20% off. Or DM me on Twitter. If you don't have Etsy, just DM me on Twitter. I could save you a little bit of more money.
All right.
All right.
Well, I highly recommend it. All 5 of our fans that already saw this yesterday in the Barking Browns, go out and buy Ross's socks because they are amazing. I cannot wait until I am wearing mine. Okay, so I hope all of our audience knows Ross significantly better. That was awesome. Great answers. Now we're going to move on to this week's edition of Spit, Sip, Chug, which, by the way, I want to clarify a little bit. If your answer's very positive, pro-Brown, that's when you chug. If it's sort of mediocre, that's when you sip. And if it's negative, that's when you spit. So regardless of how I phrase the question, just remember that and you'll be fine.
I got it.
All right. So we're going to start with question number 1. Baker's out tomorrow because of his shoulder injury. They're not saying, but do you think he will be shut down for the rest of the season? Ross, why don't you get us started?
Oh, I think that's a definite spit. I mean, he's called off for the game tomorrow, but like he wants to play it. That's a spit.
All right. I guess I will go next. I'm also going to spit on this one. I think he's too competitive. I don't think our coach he's too much of a player's coach. He's going to shut Baker down. As long as Baker can handle the pain, I think he's going to play through it as long as he can, which I think we'll definitely see him back the following week. And I don't know if he's going to be healthy. I'm hoping for a miracle. Let's go. Roger, what do you think?
I'm going to sip on it, and it's going to be for 2 reasons. I think, number 1, it's going to depend on where the doctors, where the trainers, where they think he's at, if he needs surgery, and if he can do more damage. But more for the coaching staff, if I think it's going to really be based on how Keenum performs tomorrow night, and if the offense can move the ball, and if they win the game convincingly and the offense plays well. I think the staff will feel more comfortable with, like, you know what, let's just shut them down and get them some rest, and we can play with Case for a while.
All right. Fair enough. Now, follow-up question on that one. Should Baker be shut down? If you were the coach of the team, would you shut Baker down? We'll start with you, Ross, once again.
Okay, so it would definitely be shut him down for a few weeks, do the IR thing, 3 weeks minimum. I mean, changing that rules is an awesome thing the NFL did, so take advantage of it. You don't got to have the guy sitting forever. I mean, he tore it out, and obviously he keeps saying, when it's rested, I feel better. Well, then rest. I mean, ding it up the next time you play, but give it a little bit of rest. And I think it's got to be more than 1 week. I mean, you keep hearing about this. We paid Case Keenum for a reason. He's fully capable of being a solid backup. And you know what we talk about the whole season? Our roster's freaking loaded. You can throw in someone worse than Case Keenum, and they might have a breakout game. Look what Tyler Heineke did in a playoff game with less weapons. For 1 or 2 games, I don't think defenses are going to prepare for backups. So, yeah, I'm chugging to that. I got the Hammer Light, Jamie Gillen beer.
All right.
So if I end up chugging, I guess I could call it a punt.
Nice. I heard the Hammer Light was super strong a couple of years ago, and now not so much. Now it's pretty weak.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. 3.9%, 16 IBUs, and I think they're going for like a Gatorade kind of description here. They got electrolytes in the description. Not a big fan. I don't like berry flavors in my beer.
All right, fair enough. All right, I'm going to just basically say everything Ryan I think I completely agree with. I don't even know if this means I'm chug spitting. Yeah, I think 3 weeks rest would do Baker some good. I obviously it doesn't heal. He needs surgery, supposedly from what I read. Not a surgeon or a doctor, but I think some rest would do him good. And I think we can. You're right. We paid Case Keenum all this money. Let's roll with him. Roger, what do you say?
I'm chugging. And I'll tell you what, Case Keenum is the best quarterback other than Baker Mayfield that we've had play quarterback here in at least a decade or more. And Case Keenum is surrounded with more talent than any quarterback has ever played or ever had around him in 10 years or more. So I'm resting Baker. I'm shutting him down, and I'm chugging on it.
3 weeks, right? 3 weeks, or are you shutting them down for good?
Oh, it depends how good Keenum is.
All right, fair enough. Ed, I bring you on because I thought that was a hilarious comment. Ed wanted to say something about your beer of choice, Ross.
Yes, it won't leave much of a hangover, but
That was well done. I feel like you got to get like a setup like the news radio or the radio talk shows have where like you have people call in and then you just can hang up on them whenever you want.
Exactly. Well,
maybe have like 10 people on speed dial that can chime in and then just say, shut up or keep talking.
We're always evolving the Dawg Chug. So far, we're not really getting anywhere, but we're going to keep trying. All right. Question number 2 for Spit, Sip, Chug. All right. Some would say the Browns betrayed us this year and we deserve better. What say you? I'm going to start on this one. I do not think we deserve better than what we got. Ed said kind of the same thing. Look, we love this team. If they're doing great, if they're doing shitty, I don't know. We just have to like root for them. Do we deserve better? No, they're obviously struggling. I'm going to continue rooting for them and hope they get it together. And maybe that means we have to go through an entire shitty 2019 to get to 2020, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to be there rooting for when it happens. Yes, that took a toll. And obviously Nick tweeted emotionally, but we should never tweet emotionally, Nick. We should only tweet when we're confident and secure. So I know he's going to do better next time. So I am spitting on that one. Roger, what say you?
I'm definitely spitting on this. They deserve better from the fan base. You got enough people beating you down. You nationally. Maybe inside the rooms, you got a coach beating you down. Fans, if you're a fan of a team, the main objective is to support that team. Win, lose, or draw. Maybe it's me because I've been a fan. I mean, I remember when Sipe replaced Mike Phipps. I'm a Michigan fan, so I've been losing for a decade over on Saturdays. But every Saturday I go in with they can win. And the same thing with the Browns on Sundays, because if not, what's the point? What's the point? I think the Browns, the players deserve our support and to help them get through it. I'm not giving up on them, they're not giving up on us. We shouldn't give up on them.
Absolutely. I love it. I'm going to drink to that. Ross, what say you?
I mean, it's obviously a spit. I mean, you have your top players playing through injuries, like Jedrick Wills playing on a limp ankle the first half of the season. Baker playing through a shoulder that popped out twice. You always hear about OBJ has a lingering injury, whether it's him just saying that or not. Oh, there's my cat. And it's just ridiculous because I'm 30, so pretty much 1990 and up is when I have a very good memory of being a Browns fan. And what did 3-3 mean before? It meant let's celebrate. We got a whole lot ahead of us. And look at our 3 losses, by the way. The Chargers, who are a good team, maybe not as great as the other 2 losses. The Chiefs are great, even though they're having a slow start. And the Cardinals are undefeated, and we're dealing with injuries. Look at our next 5 games. And if 5-game winning streak happens, don't be that surprised.
Exactly.
I mean, everything's fine. Like, if you look at the schedule, it's exactly like last year. We're beating the teams we're supposed to beat. And the Chargers were our coin flip game, which we had a handful of last year. But if we keep that trend up, I see 11-6. And it's so weird to get used to that 17-game record thing, but 11-6, and we're there. I see there's 4 coin flip games, and we had that last year, and we were on the better side of that coin. And then we had the one last year against the Titans, which was the one I put down for a loss, and we ended up with 11 wins. So I think we're on the same pace. I don't know. There's just all this recency bias, I guess, that we were successful, and now it's just all going to happen now. It has to happen right away. So spit.
Right.
Did I even say spit? I think you got the gist, though.
You did. You said spit. Yeah.
Nope, we lost Ed. We lost our producer.
Oh no.
He's gonna melt now. Okay.
He's in Buffalo.
Yeah, he joined a Buffalo podcast. Jerk.
Hey, they have awesome uniforms. Let's be clear on that.
Oh, there he is. He's back. Okay, let's move on. Coach Stefanski looked like a genius when things were going well last season, and he kind of looks like Freddie Kitchens when they're not going well. Roger, we're going to start with you. What do you think?
No, I'm spitting on that. Freddie Kitchens looked like he lost a number to dominoes standing on the sidelines. Even in losing, Coach Stefanski looks like he's in control. Even when things are going to shit, he looks under control. Yeah, I'm spitting on that.
All right. Ross?
I'm spitting on that as well. A lot of spitting on this Dawg Chug here. Maybe it's because we're more optimistic. You asked me. I'm an optimistic guy. I'll keep this short, but Stefanski, my favorite thing is that separates him the most from Freddie Kitchens. I feel like he never had a bad game with time management and using timeouts. And I mean, it's just all the time. Every time we always have 3 timeouts left with a minute in the game. We always have timeouts left near the end of the game. And when we use them the right time. It's just like he does the things that when we're fans watching and get frustrated with coaches, he doesn't make those mistakes. So yeah, there could be some little play calling problems right now that aren't as good as last year, but he had a perfect O-line last year. I think he relied on that quite a bit, but definitely a spit. He's not Freddie Kitchens.
All right. I am agreeing with everyone. I am spitting on this one. At the end of the day, although I said if it's positive, use chug. Maybe I'm chugging. I don't know. I don't even understand the rules. But the point is, I think Stefanski said he's the guy that when you win, he doesn't get too high, and when you lose, he doesn't get too low. He's going to figure this stuff out. Obviously, I don't understand what ails the Browns right now, but I am confident Stefanski's going to take us in the right direction.
Well, how about this? We all spit, so how about we cheers?
All right, cheers.
We all agreed, so we cheers to that. And that's an excuse to get us drinking.
Absolutely.
You're earning producer credits right now. I love it.
Salute.
And Ed wants to come on and say something negative because, souring on everything.
No, I do like Stefanski. Ross makes great points. The only qualm I have against Stefanski is out in LA when that final 2-minute drive, we go 12 yards in 54 seconds, and then we have to settle for Hail Marys. That was ridiculous. Like, what were they doing?
Here's the thing. We're comparing him to Freddie Kitchens. Does Freddie Kitchens have situational football where he pulls the running back on the other team into the end zone so we have that last drive? Old Browns don't do that.
Oh, this is not to compare Stefanski to Freddie Kitchens because
I'm
Freddie
stuck on that
Krueger.
question, I guess.
Yeah, Freddie Krueger's better than Freddie Kitchens. I know this is the Halloween season, but so we'll go with that. But yeah, that's the only qualm I have against Stefanski. And I think the problem that all Browns fans have with him and even Baker this year is we hear the excuses with Baker, 4 different coordinators in 4 different years. This is the first time he's had the same system 2 years in a row, and he looks like he's regressing. Now, I know that the injury is probably a lot to do with it, but Baker doesn't want to make excuses. So as fans, I'm not going to make excuses for his poor play then, if that's what he's going to do. So luckily, Case Keenum's playing tomorrow. I think he's going to do good. I think the Browns are going to win, and I think that we'll have 10 days to bash on Steeler fans and talk about that playoff win that we had against them.
All right. And in Buffalo, everybody. He loves the Bills. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. It's a dumb question, but hold on. I'm gonna come back to this question because I think I reworded it. For some reason, I don't have the reword. Okay. Injuries are not an excuse. So Joe Woods is just not it. I'm gonna start. I'm definitely spitting on this one. No, I'm chugging on this one because I'm optimistic. I think Joe Woods is going to be fine. Our guys we have so many new parts and pieces, and everyone's getting injured, and they're subbing all kinds of backups and the backups of the backups in. I think Joe Woods is going to be a decent defensive coordinator for the Browns. We just have had a couple bad games. He showed it during the Minnesota Vikings. That other game, the Bears game, we did really well on defense. I think we're going to be fine defensively. So I am chugging that Joe Woods is it. Roger, what say you?
Joe Woods, right before the season started, I heard an interview with Joe Woods, and he said, I don't want to worry about what they're trying to do on offense. I want that offense to worry about what we're doing on defense. And that hasn't happened yet. Part of it, like you said, Andy, is there's a lot of moving parts. I've been hard on Joe Woods ever since he didn't blitz Chad Henne last year, and I watched Shanahan play for, I think he was a 2-year starter on Saturdays, and I've been hard on Joe Woods. I want to give him a chance, and the reason with Joe Woods is because the personnel that Andrew Berry brought in fit Joe Woods' system. It's not like we can bring in another DC that runs a 4-3 base and you're staying. It's got to work, and they got to figure it out, and the players got to figure it out. Harrison got burnt. He got sucked inside on a tight end that was coming across. It was already covered when he should have been back in the middle playing zone. He's got to get these guys on the same page, and it's coaching. So I guess I'm chugging.
All right. Before Ross, we get to you. Ed wanted to give his review of how you're doing.
I just want to say, Ross, I'm chugging you as a guest. You use complete, coherent sentences. You don't butcher the English language. You are a godsend. You are a great ambassador for the Cleveland Browns as a fan. Thank you, sir.
Well,
All right.
He's getting some producer points there. He's trying not to lose his job.
I don't know. I mean, he basically said you're better than other people we've had on. We've had him on a lot, so I think he just said you're a better.
Stable
producer.
internet connection goes a long way.
It does. All right. Why don't we get your take on that question?
Oh, this is like a textbook sip right here. I mean, we had like in all of Joe Woods' time here on the Browns, I actually gave him a complete pass last year. I was like never complaining about him because we saw what he had. Like the players that we had last year went to other teams look awful. Like Sendejo on the Colts. Like I turned the game on and then I'm like, who's that guy? Oh wait, it's Sendejo. He missed a tackle. But I gave him a pass last year. But this year it's kind of weird because we do have the talent. We had those 2 awesome games in a row, and we're like, oh, Joe Woods figured it out. And then he doesn't in the games that every game we lost in, like the defense just wasn't stepping up. And I don't know if he's making things too complicated. Producer Ed was shooting me a chat early in the show, and I agreed with him here. Joe Woods might be trying to do some genius stuff that the players aren't ready for. Let's do the Sean McVay thing. Like Sean McVay's a genius, but if you hear his players talk about what he does, his coaching staff is all about teaching their players what to do and learn his system. And I think Joe Woods is kind of jumping the gun on trying some things out. It kind of sucks that we're going to be in week 7 and we're not sure if the defense is ready. So yeah, I'm sipping. I'm not the guy to say he's getting fired because the heart of our team is really Kevin Stefanski in the offense still until I see otherwise.
Wow. I mean, you told me you're an optimist. You're basically you're throwing in the towel. I don't like it. Anyway, let's move on to our final question of this edition of Spit, Sip, Chug. This is a dumb one, but we always have to have a dumb one. Browns fan base might show up and support this team regardless of how we're doing during the season. But the truth is, we are the most in need. Sorry, we're the fan base in most need to be heavily medicated. Wow, did I butcher that? So in other words, Browns fans need to be more medicated than any other NFL franchise. Roger, you start us off.
I would sit on the couch and drink Edmund Fitzgerald in just misery. And that was self-medicating. For years, and my wife would watch me and she had, how can you do this? How can you do this every Sunday to yourself? And but we have a lot of fans like Mike that medicate. I think a lot of Browns fans medicate already, Andy. I think we're covered on that.
That is true.
So I'm chugging. Here's the medication.
Ross, what say you?
Oh man, this is a chug as well. Medicating, win or lose, I'm medicating. When I lose, I need beer. When we win, I want to celebrate and drink beer. I mean, medicating goes both ways. I mean, this is the greatest thing in the world for me when I'm watching sports. It's a no-brainer. And I think we embrace it with tailgating, with watching at home. It's just the greatest excuse to medicate, good or bad.
All right. I'm also going to chug on this one. I think Browns fans are extremely passionate. I think passion leads to mental illness. Nothing against mental illness. We all need to be very, talk about mental illness and deal with it. But I'm saying, I think we're so passionate, and every time we think the Browns are going to be good, something always seems to go wrong. And after 2 decades of this, it just makes us all a little bit crazy. Our takes on Twitter this past Sunday was, a little bit out there. We need to, yeah, you're right. We need to drink our alcohol, take our edibles, whatever, calm down, and get back to Thursday where we can win again. So that
Andy,
is, yes.
it got to the point with the Browns, and for years we've been so. When you go and have surgery, have you ever had surgery and they give you anesthesia and they tell you to count backwards from 100 and you're like 198, 97. I fucking love 97. When I was watching the Browns, that's how many Edmund Fitzgeralds I'd get to that point because you couldn't watch it, But like you said, just eat your edibles, relax. We don't need to beat each other up. And that's what happens on Twitter, man. We're just beating the shit out of each other, and it's unnecessary.
I don't think I said what I said very well. The point is, we just need to relax and, we're all fans. We bark together. Everyone wants to have some crazy opinion and then they get attacked, whatever. Just need to chill out, which is why you should come check out the Dawg Chug where we can just have some fun. All right. Let's move on to our next fantastic bit, which is we're going to pick 3 games against my 3-year-old daughter. By the way, I do want to point out the updated scores now because this is exciting. I actually kicked butt last week. I got 2 out of 3 right, which moved me up to 4 out of 21? Got 4 games right out of 21, which is pretty exciting. Roger, you are now tied with my daughter at 8 games right. And the fans have gone on to a crazy lead. They've gotten 10 right. So still plenty of season to go. Let's do it. So the first game that my daughter picked, Kansas City at the Tennessee Titans, who are getting 5.5 points. Ross, we're going to start with you. Which side would you pick in this game?
Sorry, I was trying to move my cat from licking herself on live TV here. What was the matchup?
It's the Chiefs versus the Titans. The Titans are getting 5.5 points.
They're getting 5.5. I got Chiefs on this one. I just think, Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, it's just a deadly combo. And, do you guys remember when they won, they had to win 10 games in a row to make the playoffs, and they did it with Alex Smith. I mean, we're in that midseason form, and they have a better quarterback, and it's going to be fine.
All right. No, I'm next. I'm also going the Chiefs. I know Tennessee won a big game, but I don't have any respect for them, and I think Chiefs are going to win by at least 6. And I'm terrible at this, so here we go. Roger?
I'm taking the Titans plus the 5.5. They're playing. They played a great game the other night, and they're riding high. And I can't stand Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs and kiss my ass. So I'm going to take the 5.5.
All right,
You are just like my father-in-law. You hate Pat Mahomes for some reason. I don't get it.
Oh, whoa. Roger, I'm sorry to say that Pat Mahomes' wife just cursed you out on Twitter. She is not happy with you.
Oh, boy. Next is going to be his brother who's dancing like an idiot, apparently. So
listening to that woman's voice is like nails on a fucking chalkboard when she speaks.
And just to our vast audience, we're very pro women. We just don't like that one in particular. All right, we're going to move on. The next game my daughter picked is the Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are giving 6.5 points. I'm going to start this time. I picked the Bengals because Baltimore looks awesome against great teams, and then they look pathetic against mediocre to bad teams. I think the Bengals are going to show up and make it close. And that's all I got. Roger, what say you?
I can't believe you're making me pick the Ravens. I can't. The Ravens. I'm going to take the Ravens 5.5. I hate even the thought that I'm taking the Ravens. But Cincinnati is, yeah.
Point about I didn't make you pick the Ravens. You picked the Ravens. You could have picked the Bengals, but you didn't do that. So I disagree with your criticism there. Ross, what say you?
I hate it.
Oh, I'm taking the Ravens. I'm honestly I'm a sucker for running quarterbacks. I didn't play football in high school, but I was a running quarterback on my intramural football team. And I think Lamar's got that perfect combo right now where he's actually throwing and running. And it's kind of deadly and it's kind of scary. I'm not looking forward to our defense playing against him. And I'm optimistic. I'm saying our offense can keep up with him. I don't know if our defense can.
All right, fair enough. Finally, the last game my daughter picked, the Indianapolis Colts are at the San Francisco 49ers, who are giving 4 points. Roger, you start us off.
I'm going to take San Fran minus the 4 points. And I just don't believe Frank Reich and Carson Wentz. And I'm going to take San Fran at home minus 4.
Fair enough. Ross, what say you?
But Colts are 3-3 now, right? I think.
I don't care about them, so I don't know.
I don't know. Something like that. I think Carson's kind of figuring it out. I know he had a good game last week, and they've been in closer games. I'm going to just take the Colts on this one because I think San Fran's quarterbacks just aren't cutting it right now, even with their offensive guru.
Well, the fans have been killing it in this game, and I have been sucking, so I'm going to go against the fans. Once again, I'm going to take the 49ers just because I don't care about the Colts. I hate the Colts. I'm sort of, how Nick Carnes feels about Oakland. The Raiders, apologies. That's how I feel about the Colts. So I'm not going to pick them. Anyway, that will do the pick 'em. Let's see how we do. Hey. And now it is one of our favorite bits on the Dawg Chug podcast, which, by the way, as we promised to be under an hour, is already way over. Roger, I think it's time for some safety tips. So he's getting ready.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here, while he's getting ready, we're going to bring on Ed real quick. Ed, what do you have to say about the Ravens game?
That Ravens-Bengals game shouldn't even be played. Thank Art Modell. He's the one that got rid of Paul Brown, that created the Bengals, and then obviously he moved the team to Baltimore. This game shouldn't even be played. So I hope that nobody wins. It ends up in a tie. I don't really care. I actually go Bengals because we'll probably need them to beat the Ravens to help us out later on. But this game shouldn't be played.
Okay, now that's production quality right there.
Oh, my God.
Look at that.
Oh.
Ross, I want to make sure that you have all the proper registration and everything for that vehicle that you tailgate in. Is that correct? That you have everything in order?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Great answer. Andy, this is the safety tips that we usually provide when we're on the road, but we're at home for the next 3 weeks. And I don't want to do read the police blotter in the city of Cleveland without looking it over first. And what I decided to do tonight is a safety tips special edition, the police blotter in Cleveland, Ohio, which focused on this past weekend. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look back over the last weekend and find out what happened out there.
And just for
you guys ready?
Everybody, I'm actually in the city limits of Cleveland. I'm in the West Park neighborhood, so this is close to home.
Oh, you live in West Park?
Yeah, so you could be saying something that happened right across the street from me.
My mom lived on Ward Road for years.
Like, geez.
Man, that's great. My mom lived in West Park across from the plaza there on 150th for years.
Exactly
all right.
where I am. So, wow.
This is our first blotter report, number 1 from the Cleveland police blotter. It's the 1500 block of Sark Marginal Road, Cleveland, Ohio, lakefront municipal parking. It was disturbing the peace, Andy. Okay. Apparently there was some trouble at the tailgating. There was thousands of fans gathered at tailgate for a professional football game, and one group of fans held a video game competition that turned ugly on Sunday in the parking lot. Several witnesses stated that the combatants were in a heated argument over the results of a Mario Kart contest. One of the combatants, number 2, yelled that he should have brought his own Switch controls, that the first subject, the guy that hosted this thing, combatant number 1, that his controllers were bunk. and there was something wrong with them. Meanwhile, while this was going on, there's a third suspect, and he's dressed completely in orange, and he is shotgunning White Claws all morning. He was giving both combatants wet willies while they were playing the game, and as he was doing it, he was yelling, "I choose violence." As the melee broke out, the two combatants began wrestling over a game controller, and the third suspect was seen leaving the scene in a bread truck.
Let me ask you.
You know what? I might have been the witness who reported some of that when I might have also been someone in the report. So
there's a little more. There's rumors of something called Rossgate that was circulating among the crowd as fans were going into the stadium later on, and police are still investigating. So that happened in the Muni lot. These kids nowadays playing the video games is they were causing trouble, I think.
You got to watch out for those people that bring their Nintendos to the tailgate.
I know. Back in my day, drinking beer and eating meat was just enough, you know?
I do want to point out something. Speaking of Nick Carnesgate, he brought up that we all chugged. He chugged White Claw. We chugged beers. He made us get down on one knee, which, okay, we all did it because Nick
Carnes. What are we, Tebowing? Like, we have Denver coming up, and you guys are Tebowing.
Well, I guess my question is, yes, if you're doing a Smirnoff Ice because someone iced you, you get down on one knee, but you don't just get down on a knee to chug. That's right. Am I crazy? Like, I know more about chugging than anyone. I've never heard that you're supposed to get down on a knee to chug. Anyway, maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one either.
All right. Well, Nick, we need to squash this beef because right now I feel like you betrayed us and you let us down. All right. Sorry for interrupting, Roger, your incredible bit. Let's hear the next one.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's just this second one is a distraught man parking garage downtown Cleveland. The police arrived on scene to find a man wandering the parking lot. Apparently, he was returning to his vehicle after a football game. And the football game had actually ended hours earlier. He explained to the officers his vehicle was parked in the orange section, spot 33, and he had been walking around the garage for what he says was a while. And he told the officers, car is gone. It's just gone. Well, police advised him that particular garage had an alphabetical layout and not a color-coded layout, and there was no orange section in that garage. The shattered man stormed off to the exits. As police attempted to detain him, an acquaintance dressed completely in orange arrived on the scene. He vouched for his fraught friend, and both men left the scene in a bread truck yelling, "Here we go, brownies, here we go." And they were making obscene hand gestures to nobody. Nobody in particular.
And they got to find this bread truck. I mean, I feel like you just got to find it.
I think that we had bread truck when we had Mick on a couple of weeks ago. This bread truck is trouble. If you see a bread truck, call the police.
It was all over Cleveland apparently Sunday night. Here we go. Blotter report number 3. This is the 300 block of West 117th Street, the Lido Lounge. Have you guys ever been to the Lido?
Yeah, well,
you ever get changed for a 20 at the Lido there, Ross? No?
I've been to on 117th at that Giant Eagle, but no, not there.
Well, if you need to break a 20, you can go into the Lido and get singles. And
nice.
They'll take care of you in there. This is a disorderly conduct and a possible public indecency. The police arrived on scene to find a male customer passed out in a booth. Employees claimed that the man became irritated when he's told that he was cut off and no longer be served alcohol. The club managers say the trouble began when he tried to climb on stage and do a striptease in assless chaps.
Wow.
While being removed from the stage, the witnesses claimed that he told the manager to shut his whore mouth.
Oh,
As police tried to get the customer's information, 2 males dressed head to toe in Cleveland Browns attire, one was completely dressed in orange, arrived on scene, claimed to be friends with the customer. After the police spoke to the club management, they declined to press charges. The female entertainer also dropped the indecency exposure charge. She told the officers it was kind of dark. It could have been his pinky. She wasn't sure. Police allowed the two males to take the now semi-coherent man. Witness stated as the men were leaving, the impaired man slurred, "I called the Chargers game as a loss last week." And he also said, "I knew you sons of bitches would show up." Witness number 2 said that the man in the orange told him, "Shut your whore mouth and get in the truck. We're going to play pool."
Wow.
So that happened at that was
truck. This is the problem. I got to look out for it. I'll tell
it's
my
laced
neighbors.
throughout all these. I don't know what's going on. You guys stay away from the Lido Lounge if you're watching this. Ooh, Andy, look at this one. This is the 100 block of Alfred Lerner Way, First Energy Stadium.
Oh,
Oh boy.
It's at the stadium. It's a theft and a robbery.
all right.
The police respond to a 911 call from an NFL football game where 67,000 plus witnesses observed the suspect, Carl Cheevers, the head of the NFL officiating crew and head referee assigned to the Cleveland Browns versus the Arizona Cardinal football team. The report states that the 911 caller accused the game official of blatantly disregarding all rules pertaining to football, and they wanted him arrested. The police spoke with the subject, and they determined that there was he was no different than a referee, an official, or an umpire, and is released. The police told the man that sucking was not against the law, so they had to let him go. Later that night, a crazed man dressed in orange driving a bread truck, accompanied with 2 assailants, tried to run the referee down, and they were yelling obscenities.
I gotta get one of the ring doorbells, and I gotta get a ring doorbell and see if this bread truck drives by my house ever. I'm kind of concerned.
This bread truck is there.
And my neighbor has a coffee shop. He might be getting deliveries from this bread truck for all I know.
You got to keep your eye out. I don't know. It doesn't give details on the truck color or anything. But yeah, he's all over town there. This is the last one. This is the last one that I got.
Oh boy, Jesus! I thought
This is the last one.
I know Andy sells real estate, but are you trying to get me to move out of Cleveland? I'm kind of worried about the safety of my family here.
That's why I didn't read the real police blotter. I didn't want to scare anybody.
This is
This is real.
No, I mean the one from West Park. I mean the real one from West Park. Safety tip number 5 is social media harassment. Summit County resident reports that while on social media, he's harassed by 2 individuals from 2 different states. One's a man in Florida and the second's a female in Oklahoma. The victim reported that he's harassed, badgered, he's blamed, and he sent negative messages to him. And one suspect even vehemently dislikes the victim. A statement, vehemently. The statement said, the man said, "I know the Florida guy is high on devil's lettuce and he has a shin and ankle fetish." Ooh. And when he was asked about the Oklahoma woman, the victim only said, "I'm terrified of her." And that's all he had to say. That's this week's safety tips.
Holy
man!
I think next week we should expand this to at least 15 safety tips.
At least.
Ed, let's hear what you think.
Well, thank God sucking isn't a crime, because I think we might all be arrested besides Ross tonight. I know there was something happened on Sunday where the Arizona players said that Browns fans threw beer on them. So that'd be some alcohol abuse. That is fake news. Cleveland fans always finish their beers. So put that to bed. So that's all I got. Come on, guys.
All right. Ed in Columbus, everyone. You kept it short. I appreciate that. All right. We've kept way too long, so let's get down to the grand finale, right? We always play a game, and usually it involves, answering questions and yes or no statements. You have like a 50-50 chance. But today we're actually going to test you, Ross. We're actually going to see. We're going to compete against you. I think you're going to be able to win this. I hope you. By the way, if you don't know, if you win this game, today that we're going to challenge you to. You will be in the drawing to get to come to the Browns-Bengals game with Roger. And if you don't want to come with us, that's fine. You can, we'll auction off the ticket and we'll give you the cash. So this is high stakes, obviously, to get to watch Week 17 in a blizzard. Two shade teams playing each other. That's phenomenal, especially when you're going to be sitting between these two assholes. But here's the game. Here's the challenge. I asked you to bring 3 beers. I don't know if your beers actually qualify because they're 3.9%, but we're going to overlook that. If you want to drink those, you're doing
Miller Lite.
Miller Lite. All right, great. Light beer by Miller. If you want to go ahead and pour those in the glasses, now would be the time. And essentially, the challenge is going to be this. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Great. We are going to do a chug off. Well, I also have 3 beers. So it's going to be a race to see who can drink their beers fastest. But the reason I think you're going to win is because after I finish my 3 beers, Roger has to chug an Edmonds Fitzgerald, and I've seen him chug a beer before. You got at least 27 minutes. So basically, all you have to do is finish the 3 beers, and I think you're going to win. So I'm going to drink my 3 beers. As soon as I finish, Roger's going to start drinking his Edmonds Fitzgerald. And if you can finish your 3 light beer by Millers before we finish our collected 4 beers, then you are in the running to win Browns tickets in January. So excited.
All right. This last one's getting a little foamy here. I don't know what's going on.
Well, we can vamp. We can talk it through. I'm gonna move my. My setup a little bit. You let us know when you're ready. I can even cut some of this nonsense out. No.
All right. 1 second. While those foams go down, I'm gonna take care of something.
All right. Roger, how fast do you estimate you can drink an Edmonds Fitzgerald?
Andy, I would have no idea. We're going to find out tonight if somebody wants to put a clock on it because I've never done it. So I'm going to say 20 seconds.
You think you can drink it in 20 seconds? Okay.
I have no idea. I think I can.
I love
but
that.
I don't have a glass. I'm going to take it right out of the bottle.
I think what I need to do is this.
All right. I think this is a good view. You can see what I got. I got my 3 poured. Last one's foam's going down a little bit still, but I think it'll be good by the time I chug it.
Well, take some. If you want to take some time, this is a big deal, obviously.
I chug a lot of beers sitting while playing Mario Kart. Okay, kind of used to this position.
Here's the. You are coming to the meeting lot tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, the plan is. I'm just not positive on the time, but yeah, I'll be there.
All right. Well, let me know when you get there. We're gonna have some fun.
All right, I'll let you know. My brother's coming, so he goes like 1 game a year with me, so we'll make it a good time.
Irritating. Yeah, whatever. You have to deal with the North Star. I apologize. All right. We are gonna put you in the main screen. All right. So, I guess Roger, you should count us down. So again, I just want to go over the rules. I'm going to start drinking. Ross is going to start drinking. I'm obviously a trained professional, so I should destroy him. We'll see. He might be really good. But when I finish my 3rd beer, Roger, you start drinking your Edmonds Fitzgerald. He just has to finish his 3 before both of us are done. Does that make sense? Everyone has a question.
I start drinking my beer when you finish your 3rd.
When I finish my 3rd, that's your cue.
Got it.
All right. Do you want to count us down?
Talking to me?
Roger, count us down. Because we should be ready to go.
Yeah, we gotta be ready. I got mine in hand.
All right. Would it help if I put Mario Kart on?
I mean, if I had the music, but we're good.
All right. Roger, count us down from 3.
3, 2, 1.
Go, Roger! Roger.
Done.
Oh, he beat us! You son of a bitch! Ross, that was awesome. I don't know how many people that we've had on could have successfully done that, but I knew you. Roger,
I can hold it in too. I don't feel that bad.
did you finish your Edmund Fitzgerald?
It's gone, but he beat me.
Wow, that was close.
Well, Edmund's an IPA, right?
Edmonds, it's no, is it? No, it's not an IPA.
Or
It's a
is that a
Porter.
Porter.
It's
yeah.
a porter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
You grow hair on your
Monsters
chest,
and
it's
Imperial IPA.
our producer is on to give us the official time.
Yeah, and that time is 21.87 seconds for Mr. Andy Manchin. And Ross in with 25.43. Good job, Ross. And Roger, I don't know what you did. I wasn't really paying attention. But, hey, you drank what you drank. You did a good job. Hey, we're all winners. Well, maybe all losers. I don't know. But we're going to be winners tomorrow night. Go Browns.
Go Browns!
Go Browns!
Go Browns.
Ross, that was really impressive. Like if you did 3 beers in 25 seconds, I bet you could do 4 in a minute.
Yeah, it's a capacity thing with that all that carbonation. I'm a little worried that fourth one will put me over the edge as far as holding it in.
You are getting to tailgate tomorrow at like what, 6 p.m.?
6:30, I think, is my goal.
So you have like a very limited time to drink before the
I'm
game.
not worried. The best part is I think my brother's going to be my DD. It's like a perfect combo.
What I'm saying is I think we should definitely see if you could do 4 in a minute without training tomorrow.
I don't know.
I think we're going to do
We'll see. I mean, it might be a thing I could try.
I mean, I'm not taking notes, so we're going to just make that happen.
Yeah, but something fun I do, me and my friends, we do, so Mario Kart during the pandemic, we couldn't play together.
Yeah.
So we were doing time trials, but we had time trials in Mario Kart where you try to get the best 3 laps solo. And there's a lot of Mario Kart drinking solo, and with Rainbow Road, you got to do 2 beers instead of 1.
Ooh.
So that's where I got a lot of this, 2 beers in 20 seconds, but you have to only use a can with that. Using a glass makes it so much easier.
Yes, you definitely easier to chug out of a glass. All right, we should get out of here. We've gone way over, which is why.
No surprise to anyone. I think that producer's got to like figure some stuff out. I mean, he's kind of the guy on the numbers, the X's and O's.
Yes. Well, you're going to take over producer duties, obviously, moving forward. Ed has been fired. Tomorrow we have a big game, obviously. I mean, to go 4-3, I think everything's going to calm down. To have 10 days till the next game is going to really feel good. We need guys to heal. Big difference than if we're 3-4, below 500. So who is going to be the MVP tomorrow? Ross, we'll start with you.
I mean, like I said, I have this. We're an offensive team still until Joe Woods proves me otherwise. So I'm going to go with Case Keenum and our weapons. We bragged about the depth on our team. So even with injuries, we should still brag about our depth. It's going to be the DPJ to Case Keenum connection. So everyone out there, I encourage you to drink a case for Case. And then these are gone now. They got rid of these in Northeast Ohio, I think, but if you got them and you're out of Cleveland, have a Crave case from White Castle for Case.
All right. I am also going to go with DPJ only because I'm starting him. Actually, I'm starting him and I'm starting Njoku, who's injured, might not even play. My fantasy's a mess, but I'm going to go DPJ. Roger, what say you?
I'm stuck between Harrison Bryant and Felton, and I think just because they're second teamers, Case Keenum is familiar with them, and I'm going to go with Felton, and I'm going to say he's going to score 2 touchdowns. He's going to be the MVP tomorrow.
All right, because I want to just go way over time, I'm going to ask one more question before we get out of here. Ross, we're going to start with you. How many points does the Cleveland Browns offense score tomorrow with Case Keenum as quarterback?
Stefanski doesn't like field goals. It's going to be 21 points for us.
All right. I'm going to go way over that. I'm going to say 22 points. I think the beer's hitting me. Roger, what say you? How many points?
I'm going to say he's going to like field goals tomorrow, and it's going to be the Browns are going to score 23 points and win.
Oh my God! All right. Well, we'll see who's the closest. Which obviously Roger just cock-blocked us both. Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been by far our best episode yet. Ross, you were amazing. We can't wait to have you back on. And thank you so much for Mike. I hope you didn't get bit by a dog in between. And Ed, our great producer, you just added the energy all night long. So thank you, everyone. Roger, this has been so much fun. Please make sure you do 20 safety tips next time. We need more. Anyway, I love everyone. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go Browns. Ross, thank you. Mike, Ed, go Browns.
Well, he said he's gonna.
Go Browns.